Hello out there in video land. Hello out there in video land. Hello out there in Radian. Twice on my pipe if the answer is no. How about that one? Tony Orlando was just on the radio. Not 3 times. I don't know. Not one of my favorite songs, but that's Tony Orlando, and that's what he does the best. Sing crazy songs on this Manic Monday, 4680Q radio. Your City, Your Voice with Paul K. Lemire at the controls. Let's hope everything's working all right. That's all I ever hope every day. You never know, right? You never know. But it looks like everything's fine. It looks like everything's good on this Manic Monday morning. Soon to be afternoon. I think we're just hitting the stroke of noon right now. Anyway, show number 489. Closing in on number 500 here. Imagine that. 500 shows. My goodness, where did the time go? It seems like just yesterday I did this first show in the new realm here, the post-COVID Your City, Your Voice. Look at this weather now. It was 76 last week. It was like 50 degrees lower. This morning it was cold, and now it's up to 45. Though it's that wind is chilly. It's not that bad of a day out. The wind is chilly out there. And when you get out there and it starts blowing, it's a little bit chilly. That's why I got my lid on today. I wore my lid today. Walking around out there with that wind blowing is a little bit chilly. A little bit chilly, but my buddy Chopper's in Aruba. It's on the beach in Aruba. He's not chilly. He's having a good day down there. It's beautiful. But you know what? We're getting into the good weather here. We're getting into the good weather. So, when you get into the good weather, good things start to happen. It's a little bit warmer out. You see more people. Everything's better when it's nice weather, right? Rather than shut in the house and then having to go out and shovel 4 times. But luckily, we had a good winter for that kind of thing. But as we are getting into the nice weather here, you want to make sure your car is running A1. And that's why you've got to go to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Yeah, no fooling around. Free summer inspection. So I'm a spring inspection. Let's put it that way. But you're getting ready for summer. Free inspection. You go down there. Ken Hunter's going to check all of your systems. Make sure you got your summer tires on. Get rid of those winter tires. They're not made for this. He's going to check everything on your car. Throw you on the computer. Make sure all your systems are running A1, no error codes on that computer, and he can get you out there and make sure you have a safe summer of driving. Check your brakes, check your systems, check your fluids, make sure your air conditioning's working when you do get those 80-degree days. I've already thrown mine on in the car. Yeah, I don't fool around. That's what you get when you go to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. WildBillsAuto.ca is where you look at it. It's Monday, forgive me. He also has a full body shop. So if you get in a wreck, minor, major, doesn't matter. He's going to take your car in, repair it, get it out in showroom condition so everybody's happy. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop on Oakwood Drive next to the Kia dealership. Go see Wild Bill today. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. I think it's over here. Or it's over here. I can't remember. But anyway, hit it. Cost you $0 to subscribe to this channel. Nothing. But it does help the algorithm when it gets out there. It goes out to more people. And the more people that get it, the better. Because we got a couple of big elections coming up. One on April 28th, I heard. We'll get to that later. And another one on, we have our municipal one in 2026. And I know everybody said, "Pa, it's a year and a half away. What are you worried about that for?" Believe me, a year and a half goes fast. It goes really fast. And, people start saying they're going to run, and we want to make sure we get out and vote. We have a chance to talk to people and get out the vote. That's what it's all about. So, yeah, subscribe. You get a notification when I pop a new video on every day around 3 o'clock when it goes on. For the radio guys, go to the channel. Go to Your City, Your Voice. Paul K. Lemire. Just check it out and subscribe. You're going to get all notifications, and you can watch every video. You can comment. We always comment on the comments, of course. We also have 2 other sponsors we're not going to forget about, and we'll talk about them later. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue and Hamel Machine Company. We were talking with them throughout the show here. Stay tuned, but let's get into the show. And the first one is Facebook Funnies. Facebook, it kills me. And people are, seriously, they get on Facebook and they lose their mind. They're cagoots. They're way out there. They're way out there. Believe me, Facebook is just a... So a guy called me a libtard. He called me a libtard. And I said, the guy knows me, and we have mutual friends. But obviously, he just dropped in from Mars. He must have been on one of Elon Musk's spaceships, and or he doesn't watch the show or something. But if he ever listens to me, calling me a libtard is oh yeah, okay, sure. That means you don't understand, you don't know, or you whatever. But in a moment of jest, I said I was going to vote for Art Carney to hasten up the demise of Canada, and I don't know, a lot of people didn't like that. Now, where did I get this idea? Well, here's the story. I stopped into Ivan's with a couple of my buddies, Adam Hyde and Ralph Panucci. We have some wings, and we always talk politics. That's what we talk about. There's a lot to talk about these days between Trump and Musk and Bondi and Kash Patel and Art Carney and Norton, Art Carney and Poliver and all the rest of these chamokes running. Yeah, we had lots to talk about. And he told me he's going to vote for Art Carney. And I go, like, this guy's a conservative. There's no friggin' way. And he said, yeah. And I go, why are you voting for Art Carney? And he said, because we get him in there, he's going to make Canada go down faster than anybody. It's already there from 10 years of Trudeau. This guy will put it away in maybe the next 2 or 3 years. So the faster it goes down, the faster we get to be the 51st state. And I'm going, wow. That's some deep thinking. That's some strategy right there. I mean, Art Carney's worse than Le Petit Patat. We thought he was going to finish off Canada for good. And his old man before him, but no, Carney's probably going to be the one. That reasoning is impeccable. How do you argue that? He asked me if I was in favor of becoming the 51st state. He knows I am because of the tremendous benefit that would bring to all Canadians. And, when I say 51st state, I mean, I'm not talking about us being the United States. I'm talking about us in an economic union with the United States, where we all benefit from it. There's no tax, there's no tariffs, there's no borders, one currency, like the European Union. We go back and forth. We trade freely, no fees, no tariffs, no nothing. Everybody just does it. All Canadian businesses will have immediate and free, no tariff access to 350 million people. So the faster we get this kind of union, because it's going to happen anyway, the better, right? And I don't even know PP, if you elect him, he can resuscitate this country the way it's going. So let's get a final, give it a final death blow and elect Art Carney. He's going to let millions more illegals in. He's going to really screw up this company, bump up crime and fentanyl production with the left-wing liberal courts, making it almost impossible to live here. It'll be a dystopian nightmare. Dystopian future of society bereft of reason. That's what it's going to be. So when Trump finishes with this Art Carney guy, this clown, there's going to be 100% tariffs on everything. I mean, this guy's already, causing trouble. And he wants to give Canada to Europe, which, to me, that's not too smart. And Trump won't allow it. And the Article 49 of the EU says only European countries can join. So there's that. It's not going to happen. So what's the ending to this horror movie? Well, it's simple. We may as well make it happen ASAP. Why delay the inevitable? A vote for Art Carney is a vote for the 51st state, and it cannot come soon enough for me. Now the left-wing losers tell me, if you love the U.S. so much, why don't you get the hell out of Canada? They should watch the video that shows Canada is even a sovereign country, and it's a loose union of a bunch of different provinces. That's all it is. under an umbrella that means nothing. There's a video I put on my Facebook page, and you should watch it. Every Canadian should watch it. It tells you exactly what Canada is. Okay, so why don't I move out? I won't have to. They're coming to me. I can stay right here, and we'll be part of the U.S. The border's a mile that way. It's going to move a mile this way, or probably probably 2,000 miles this way. So I just wait for it to come to me. Thank you very much. So all the big C conservatives that have no faith in Pierre Poilievre to right the ship, vote for Carney. He'll put Canada next to the Titanic in Davy Jones' locker. So there you go. That's why the guy was mad at me calling me a libtard. But I'm not. Of course, I'm not. I would never vote liberal. Not even a prayer. Although that's a good strategy when I think about it. Now the other Facebook genius, another one. There's always two. They come in pairs. I mean, it never ends, right? It says Musk didn't rescue the two astronauts on the moon. No, excuse me. Now, I know there's a fentanyl problem in the United States. But when I asked who sent the rocket to the moon, he said the U.S. government. I'm going, oh, yeah? Okay. I think it's called NASA, and they don't have any rockets, so I'm not sure what this guy was watching, but he definitely wasn't watching the SpaceX launch and recovery of the two astronauts Biden left stranded up there and brought them back. I mean, the only one that NASA has right now is Artemis, and that's a total bust. They were going to the moon about right now. They were going to head to the moon. They can't even get the friggin' thing off the ground hardly. But he claims it wasn't Musk. They don't want to give Musk. He's got MDS. They don't want to give Musk things. So I called the guy a bachagaloop, told him to stata zit. He told me next time he visits Ontario to see his family, he's going to look me up and then call me an a-hole. He loves threatening people on Facebook, does he? Well, I told him my name is Paul K. Lemire, but that's my stage name. My real name is John Ringo Beam. I love you, John. I love you. Yeah, so anyway, that's my stage name, Paul K. Lemire. John Ringo Beam is my real name. If you're looking for me, come and get me. It never ends. It never ends. It's a never-ending story. Believe me, I could sit here all day and tell you these stories and not even do a show. I could just do a show. Maybe I will one day tell you. Do a show on Facebook Follies. Facebook Funnies. Now, the comments, viewer comments on the videos. We did have some comments. At Penny Brookify, I've been saying we need to pull the plug on funding Catholic school boards for years. Indeed, it's a waste of money, not to mention a cruel indoctrination of young minds, but that's another matter. Let's tax the churches while we are at it. And you know what? I've been saying that for years, too. Religion should be in churches. That's why they have Bible school and all that. And I was talking about that on my show on Friday. I think I talked about that on my show. So, I was getting into that on Friday, and this is what Penny Brookfight says. And I agree with her 100%. We should have one school system, public school system, if you want to send your kids to Catholic schools and have the religious element in it, you pay for it. And I don't mean pay on your taxes. I mean you pay. You don't pay part of your taxes towards it. You pay for your child to go to school. Might cost you 10 grand, but if that's what you want, it's like going to a private school, then you should pay. And that's it. So I agree with her 100%. Not in our public schools. I see my street, and basically people go down the street. There's the school bus picking them up. That's the Catholic one. Then another bus comes right behind it, picks up the public ones. And it's ridiculous. Two of everything. So I agree. The tax the churches while we were at it. Well, they pay something. I mean, it's some kind of a stipend they pay to the city or something, I think. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they don't pay city taxes, but they should. I mean, why shouldn't they? Why should they get away with it? And churches own some of the big, the best land in the world. I mean, let's face it. Go to St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City, right in the middle of Manhattan. That property right there is worth, I can't even imagine. And yeah, they probably pay no taxes neither. So Good point. Good point. I'm on it. I'm with you. At 881 Slick, I was infuriated with listening to the 80,000 word report on JFK. What about Benghazi attacks under Hillary Clinton? 4 men died. That's what I want to learn about. Stevens was murdered by Hillary. So, yeah, there's a lot of different things that we're going to see some stuff come out on. Benghazi is going to be one of them. Shifty Shift is going to be another guy who's going to be taken to the courts. Fauci, I'll talk about that guy later, but yeah, there's going to be a lot. So hang tough, 881 Slick. You're going to see these guys start falling. The sky's going to fall for all of them, including Hillary and everybody else. But like I say, all this means nothing unless there's people thrown in jail. They've got to be convicted, tried, convicted, and thrown in the slammer. Set an example. At Dave Wheeler, 1158, elbows up comes from Gordie Howe, who was noted for asserting himself on the ice with his elbowing. Okay. Yeah, any hockey fan really knows that, Dave, but thanks for tuning in the people who don't. And Tim Horton was a hockey player. He just didn't own coffee shops. You should have put that one in there, too. But nobody under 50 would remember who Gordie Howe is or what he was famous for anyway. So there you go. There's that. Great. Of course, Gordie Howe was an unbelievable player. He played Detroit Red Wings and went over to the WHL or WHA at that time. It was called the World Hockey Association with his two sons. I think he played with both of those his sons, Marty and Mark Howe. Played well into his 50s, this guy. And yeah, just an amazing guy at Gordie Howe. And they named the Gordie Howe hat trick after him. And a Gordie Howe hat trick means that you've had a goal, an assist, and a fight. If you've done all those three things, that's called the Gordie Howe hat trick. Thanks, Wheels, for that, for bringing back the past. At Dave Wheeler, 1158. I was joking that I didn't know exactly what elbows up meant, and I gave a bunch of funny things. I guess Dave didn't see the humor in it, so he had to straighten out the record as to what elbows up actually means. At Dave Wheeler, 1158. The Soviet Union fought 80% of World War II against Germany. Late in the war, the USSR decimated Japanese armies in Manchuria. The USA financed 8% of the war. Okay, there's a history lesson for you. We were talking about the Soviet Union. One time we're allied with the United States in 47. I think around 47, Patton wanted to go in and take Moscow, clean up the Soviet Union, clean all the communists up. They wouldn't let him. And then they had this, there's some treaty or some in 1947. I can't remember. I talked about it on Friday anyway. And what was it? The man something declaration. Anyway, whatever it was, but at the time, Patton wanted to go in and take them all out. He was right. He even suggested that instead of dismantling the German military, it should be used to fight the Soviets and take Moscow in Operation Unthinkable, saying that we should go after the bastards now because we're going to have to fight them eventually. The Third Army alone, with very little help and with damn few casualties, could lick what is left of the Russians in 6 weeks. Those were Patton's words. And now we look at the problems with Russia and the Cold War and everything else that went on with them over the years since 1947. Yeah, Patton was right. Hindsight is 2020, right? Thank you, Davey Boy, for that history lesson. I got a little Queen Street funny, too, because there's always somebody on Queen Street. There's always somebody doing something on Queen Street. It never fails. I forgot to tell you guys the story, though. So last week, this guy comes rolling up on one of those little scooters, the Razor scooters. I don't know if it was electric or not. He parks it in the little thing here by the studio. And he's trying to get in the studio. And so I'm in here. We just finished the Absolutely show, me and John. And the window was open. I always put the window open to make it cooler in here because it's like an oven a lot of times. And I said, what do you want? Like, what are you doing? Trying to get in the door. He says, oh, I left something in there I have to get. I go, yeah? I mean, there's all kinds of people wandering around by the studio. And I said, they always try to get into the buildings whether they're open or not. And I said, I asked what he wanted. He said, he did a show with another host and left this phone charger and wanted it back. And I had no idea who the guy was or anything else. And I told him, well, he's not taking anything out of the studio, so forget about it. And I have no idea who it is. So I says, listen, dude, I can't give people, just start giving people stuff out of the studio because they say it's theirs, right? You were on somebody's show. Wait till they get back on and come on in when they're here, and then you can grab it. I'm not giving you anything. So he tells me, he says, well, like I'm a celebrity in Niagara Falls. I'm going, oh yeah? He's a celebrity. I'm a celebrity in Niagara Falls. I looked at the guy and I go, what's your name? He told me his name. I can't even remember it now. He says, I never heard of you. What kind of celebrity are you? I never heard of you, and I'm down here every day. I know most of the people hanging around down here. Never heard of the guy. I mean, how many celebrities have to tell you they're a celebrity? The guy was a celebrity. I'd know it, right? I'm a celebrity, he goes. He wasn't kidding. He's serious. You want me to show you my ID? And I go, no, I don't want to see it. I have no idea who you are. I'm not giving you anything. And so then he got a little bit mad. And, I said, come back when the host is on that you were with. But he looked like he was getting really mad. It looked like he was going to cry or something, to be honest. So I grabbed it was a $5.95 Temu phone charger or something, one of those, just little white things, right? So I yanked it out of the power bar down here and I gave it to him through the window. Took his name down. I don't even know what it is. And I sent him packing. Okay, you're good to go. Thanks, man. He takes off. The celebrity. Maybe you guys know him. A celebrity indeed. I never heard of the guy. Don't know who he is. I never saw him before. I don't know what kind of celebrity he is. Maybe somebody could tell me who this celebrity is that rides around on a scooter on Queen Street. Says he does something with taps or something. I don't know. Okay, let's move on to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Guess what I had for breakfast? Do I say this a lot or what? But I gotta have that leftover pizza. I grabbed a pizza last night. This time I got something a little different: Italian sausage, onions, and mushrooms. Really good. It's fantastic. I had a piece this morning. I always have one, right, with some cereal. And I just love their pizza. It's really good. I mean, Mike over there, he knows how to make a pizza. He uses the beautiful Saputo mozzarella. He uses the brick cheese, mixes it up, and throws it on that Mancini sauce and the crust. Oh man, cooks it just right. It's a beautiful pizza. I love it. So all you have to do is dial at 905-374-2222. And you know what? You can ask for their special. Look at this. I got it wrote down. Wednesday party tray, 3 items, $19.99. How can you go wrong with a tray of pizza with 3 items for $19.99? And Thursday wings are on special, $9.49 a pound. And believe me, they have great wings. I love their wings. And they have the steak and cheese poutine, steak subs. They have panzerotti. They have everything. You name it, they have it. You're going to go through their menu. They have a full-out menu that's got everything on it. Looks like a Chinese food menu. There's so many things on it. And they're all good. They know how to do it right. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Pete'sPizzaVictoria.ca to order online. Or you can give them a call, 905-374-2222. And they use Skip and Dash and everything else. Support our sponsors. Thank you very much. Because thank you. They support the show. And they support the city. Mike's a great guy. Go support small business in Niagara Falls. Okay, I got to give a big congratulations out to Peller Wines. They're not hearing any of the whining and crying of these woke Niagara Lake residents yelling for them to take down the Gretzky name because these clowns are protesting. The president of the company that owns Wayne Gretzky Estate Winery, Patrick O'Brien, says, "We strongly see Wayne as a proud Canadian. someone who's very passionate about Canada. He said his company has had conversations with Gretzky and his team since calls in February from the woke Niagara residents came in to remove the Great One's name from the winery. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine this? All stem from Gretzky's association with President Trump and in the Great One, his trips to Mar-a-Lago to see Trump and his wearing of a MAGA hat at the presidential victory party and the perceived support of the U.S. team during the useless four-nation face-off a month ago. Now, the woke TDS crowd really lost it after the president called for Canada to become the 51st state. I mean, something I'd like to see, and the threat of implementation of 25% tariffs. So now they're going crazy. The TDS crowd and the MDS crowd, they're truly whacked out when they start picking on the Great One, the legendary Canadian Wayne Gretzky. Can you imagine? I mean, they just keep proving they're not all there. They're dangerous. They're wacky people. Stay away from them. Now, Colonel Ford, the Premier of Ontario, recently elected to a 4-year mandate to battle the evil forces of the United States of America. He says Gretzky is a true Canadian patriot. And Gretzky's all choked up about the negative attacks on him. He loves Canada. And this is right from Colonel Ford up in Queen's Park. Patrick O'Brien, the CEO here, went on to say the company owns the Gretzky brand, but Wayne doesn't receive revenue from the sales. The revenue that comes with that is ours. He said Wayne Gretzky Estate Winery hosts about 350,000 people annually and has become a big economic engine for the company. And it's a very big part of Peller's business. Peller Winery, local winery. Okay, all you woke Niagarans, lay off the Great One. He's a great Canadian icon. He should be respected. Drop the TDS and smarten up. We don't have many Canadian heroes. He's one of them. Support Peller Estate Wines, Wayne Gretzky Winery. Support it. Go down there. Have something to drink. Take a tour. Support it. Let's go. Forget about this nonsense. Wayne Gretzky, the Great One. Yes, Canadian legend. They'll talk about him for years, even though Ovechkin's going to break his goal scoring record in about maybe the next couple of weeks. He only needs about 7 goals now or something, 6 goals. So, okay. And then I read about a sad note here, a celebration of life for one of our longest reigning city councilors who passed away recently. And Moose Campbell, Wayne Campbell, Moose, is planned for April 11th at Fireman's Park. Wayne's going to be remembered in a public ceremony at Fireman's Park, which will be open to the public. So if you want to go pay your respects to Wayne and his family, you can go down there. And the veteran Niagara Falls councilor, he was a huge advocate of the community. He's going to be honored in public ceremony that everyone is invited to attend. Donations can be made to the Katie Campbell Fund, a fund Wayne and his wife Helga created after their daughter Katie died by suicide 12 years ago. And I couldn't think of a more worthy place to put your money. The celebration of life is being organized by Heart Niagara, an agency Campbell was involved in since its inception in 1977. And Wayne was a big credit to the city. He was on a lot of boards. He helped a lot of people. They named the old library on Victoria Avenue down on the corner of Armory and Victoria after him. It's a transitional housing because he was always there for the homeless. And he also was a big one of the big guys who spearheaded the Millennium Trail that runs through the city, along with Paisley Janbury and other people. So, yeah, Wayne was a big part of this city. He's going to be missed. My buddy Moose, known him since we were younger, way younger. I didn't always agree with him. I've had some battles with Moose, but at the end of the day, we were always friends. And I loved when he came in the studio last election and sat down for an hour and we talked about politics and what he was doing, why he was running, and that kind of thing. And even at that time, he was ill, but he could still do it. And he was a great guy. Great to see him. My favorite is always when I emailed him. When I emailed him anything, question or something, he always replied, Moose. with a smile, like because that was an old nickname that everybody had for him. But he didn't hear it on a regular basis, I would imagine, from a lot of people. So it was nice. Good guy. Sad. Go to his public thing if you like, and pay tribute to him. April the 11th at Fireman's Park. I think it starts in the afternoon. I'm not sure. I didn't write the time down, but I'm sure it's on the city website, and you'll be seeing more of it in the next little while. Ribstock, Rib Fest. It's turning into the Rib Wars in the city. Once the Rotary Club stepped away from the 20-year Rib Fest they ran on Father's Day every year, everyone's trying to get in on the action. Now you can't tell who is who. Who's who? Rib Wars, nothing but Rib Wars. So Council Chris Dabrowski is adding to the confusion by saying he was going to revive Ribfest. That's his idea. We can't let this go. I'm going to revive it. Then he heard about the Ribstock, and he dropped Ribfest like a hot potato and threw all in with Ribstock because he said he didn't want to compete with somebody who's putting on a show in town by trying to revive Ribfest. He was going to go with the Ribstock because they already had a plan. But I think Ribstock ran into a rib problem. Yeah, so this other Ribstock is now competing with Rib Fest that's going to be held at the convention center. So another Rib Fest has been revived, with Ribstock appearing to be floundering out there. Now they've tied in with the Stafford Center Volunteer Firemen's Association to run a carnival with ribs. Now, do you have all that? Did you get all that? There was Rib Fest that was dropped, and then Ribstock came along. Dabrowski was going to revive Ribfest. He saw Ribstock, didn't want to compete, put all in with Ribstock, and then all of a sudden Ribstock is floundering. He goes back to Ribfest at the convention center. I think he's back in that one now. I'm not sure what the hell he's doing. I can't figure it all out. It's too much. Too much. But I know this. I'll give you an insider. Don't tell anybody. I heard that all these big ribbers, Billy Bones and all the other ones, the Hogfather, a whole bunch of them that you see at Ribfest, are all owned by one person. The whole shooting match. I heard that perhaps this Ribstock guy couldn't make a deal with them. And if you don't have all the big ribbers, you don't have a Ribfest. I mean, there's no small ones around. These guys are the guys that everybody wants with all the trophies there. So one guy owns them all, I heard. Somebody told me, well, one guy owns them all. And if you want one, you got to take them all. And if you don't get one, you don't get any. So if you couldn't make a deal with them, that was the end of Ribstock. Because you aren't going to find any smaller ribbers. So that's why it was thrown in with the Stanford Center Volunteer Firemen's a carnival they usually have every year, which was on the outs as well. So a weird turn of events, a weird what do you call that, consortium here. So I think Ribstock thought they could circumvent the big boys and they couldn't. So they threw in with the firefighters. I don't know if this is true or not. This is just what I heard. People tell me stuff all the time. But that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, what about Ribfest in these Rib Wars? Well, this new event will be put on by Niagara Falls Ribfest on Father's Day, so the day that the old Ribfest used to be, hanging on to the tradition, and will feature all the big ribbers like Billy Bones and Bone Daddy Barbecue. Take place June 13th to 15th outside the Niagara Falls Convention Center on Stanley Avenue. So this other one's going to be the week after, the week that they run the Stanford Center Volunteer Firefighters Carnival. I think it's the week after Father's Day. So I guess I think maybe Dabrowski has jumped in with Ribfest at the convention center. He does a lot down there with all his Comic Cons and everything. The big boys control the rib fest. Without them, they're owned by the same person. You don't have a rib fest, so we got rib wars, nothing but rib wars. Give me those rib wars. Don't let them end. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. That's the story. That's the story. I know it. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm full of baloney. I'm just telling you what I hear. And I hear all kinds of stuff. I hear this girl walking down the street talking to herself. That's wild. Although, I don't know, I sit here talking to myself all the time, I guess. So. Another story by Alan Benner, reporter for the St. Catharines Standard and printed in the Review, brought me back to another criminal I forgot all about. Yeah, you know, these guys fade into the woodwork, these criminals, and you don't hear about them anymore. The one who stole close to $500,000 a year from the taxpayers while killing a lot of them and closing down businesses, ruining people's lives, causing untold trauma, and that is Mustafa Herji. Remember that guy? Yeah, remember that guy? Yeah, whatever happened to him? Well, he walked away scot-free from his killing fields in Niagara. This guy was the guy that, over and above what even the province ordered, had these bans he put on everybody. He causes small businesses to go bankrupt, push people out to the brink of the falls as they were desperate and depressed and lost their jobs, their dignity, their family, and ultimately over the edge to their demise. How many people watch their mothers and fathers die alone in the hospital because this guy closed all down the Niagara health system to visitors? How many people watch their mothers, fathers, and friends rot alone in an old age home because this jerk wouldn't let anybody in? And the total discrimination against those that decided not to take the experimental kill shot is legendary. No restaurants, no travel, no crossing the border. Oh, well, he installed these goofy arrows in grocery stores and useless masks so that you wouldn't get COVID. This guy. Then he started blaming the unvaccinated for everything. You know, the people that couldn't go anywhere or do anything. Yeah, those people. You had the cops at your house if you had more than 10 people and you had to have a bubble and you had to put masks on to walk through restaurants, but when you sat down you could take them off because these are smart viruses. They're not normal viruses. They're smart. They know when you're sitting down at a table. They can't attack you only when you walk through. I mean, people are going to look back in the future and say, "How stupid were these people in the early 20s? How stupid! 90% of the Canadians lined up to get this shot that nobody knew anything about, and the companies wouldn't even take liability if something happened to you. Oh, what happened? What happened to the humanity?" And it wasn't just the influenza that they called COVID. It was just a flu. It was just a flu. Masks were useless, did nothing. The shots were useless. And now they're having harmful effects on a lot of people. A lot of people having health issues. It's coming to turbo cancers and heart problems, heart murmurs, myocarditis. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. And that isn't hyperbole. That's the truth. That's now known as fact. You know, I really shouldn't have read this article because every time I hear this name, it makes me sick. What this guy, along with Moore and Tam and their counterpart in the U.S., Fauci, did to humanity. Now, Fauci's going to go to Gitmo. They're going to go after him. They avoided that pardon Biden gave him. They're going after him sooner than later. I hope this guy's a criminal. I hope that Canada, we have a Doge, we have a Department of Justice with a real serious guy in it. And they go after Hergy and Moore and Tam and send them on vacation to Cuba with Fauci. Never forgive, never forget. Don't forget what these people did to you. Don't never forgive them for it. Oh, let's get to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And, you know, Hamel Machine Company is amazing. Been around since 1948. Making sure that small business in Niagara Falls has a place to take their equipment to get fixed and not wait for parts, 6 weeks for parts. They can get them fixed right away. Hamel does everything. When a machine's brought in, when a part's brought in, they can duplicate it, they can fix it. They have 3D printers, they have water jet cutters. They run the whole gamut of modern equipment to take care of any problems that you have. But they also have design teams, the electrical engineers. They have people who can innovate and actually invent systems to help industry in this area be more efficient, do things quicker, and do things safer. That's what Hamel Machine Company does. Yeah, they're not just for fixing your lawnmower, but they'll do that too. They're happy to do that. They love people coming in. They love Niagara Falls, but they'll also they work with big industries like wineries, like the region, like the city, right down to my buddy Jody Burnett, who needed some special special designs for his building on Bridge Street. Went to Hamel Machine Company, and they took care of him. They set it all up, fixed it for him, designed it for him. So Hamel Machine Company, that's where you want to go. You got a problem at home, got a problem with a piece of equipment. Yeah, your lawnmower blows out the side of the deck, hitting a rock. They're the guys you want to go to. They're going to take it apart. They're going to fix it for you, put it back together just like new, and you won't have to spend a ton of money on a brand new one. Hamel Machine Company, around since 1948, right here on Bridge Street. Hauser's Welding is one of their buildings, and they have another one on Kent Street, Niagara Falls. Give them a call. If you need them, they're there for you. Don't forget to support our sponsors because they support the show. Let's move on. Speaking of criminals, a man involved in 2 jewelry store thefts was arrested in it. He was arrested, charged with 2 counts of theft under 5,000. And I always get static. On Facebook because when I read this, I go, "Oh, a guy broke into something. They smash and grab. Just go to Bramladesh, go up there, get to Hogtown, and round up the usual suspects. You'll find them. You'll find them soon enough." And then everybody yells at me, "I'm a racist." Oh, you're a racist. I don't. I just go by facts. When I read the names, I know who's doing it. So this guy's name, Diego Dini from Markham, charged with 2 counts of theft under $5,000. They wouldn't put it in the review, but that's what it was. And he'll be out tomorrow probably with doing more smash and grabs or whatever he does. And I looked up the name. It says it's from Brazil. This guy's name's Diego Dini. Enough said. Enough said. There you go. That's all I got to say about that. They caught the guy, thank goodness. It's too bad our turnstile courts will just have him out in the street again, doing the same thing, robbing jewelry stores. Yeah, that's what they do. They never seem to get deported, never seem to get thrown out, never seem to get thrown in jail. They're always back in the streets doing whatever they do. I read something real wacky this weekend. This is the wackiest read of the weekend. I'm not looking at reading this. I'm going, this is crazy. But in the wacky world of Facebook comes an article that says King Charles is going to make Trump an offer to become part of the British Commonwealth, which Mickey Big Ears says will ease tensions between Canada and the U.S. Well, Canada is still part of the British Commonwealth. They all say they're sovereign, but that whole thing about bringing home the Constitution and the charter, not a charter of rights and freedoms, was never ratified. So we really don't have anything in Canada. We run under Mariner law. Watch that video. You'll find out about it all. But anyway, now does Mickey Big Ears know the history of Britain in the U.S.? He's going to ask Trump to become part of the Commonwealth. If everyone remembers their history, the U.S. threw the British out via the American Revolutionary War back in 1775, culminating in the Treaty of Paris, and in 1783 that officially recognized the U.S. as an independent nation. The battles of Lexington and Concord on April 19th, 1775, led to the 1776 Declaration of Independence, ending the British rule once and for all. So, does he forget about that? Mickey Big Ears thinks Trump's going to rejoin the Commonwealth to make amends with Canada. This guy's got to be on something. I don't think that's going to happen. What will happen is Trump will give Britain some money and buy their share of Canada, like a hostile takeover. Maybe throw in some South Pacific island in the U.S., which always grows tea or something that Britain needs. I don't think King Charles is the sharpest knife in the drawer. But anyway, I read this. I can't even imagine it. I can't. That would, if Trump ever did that, could you imagine the United States? I mean, they threw these bums out years ago, tossed them out in a Revolutionary War, finally got rid of them. Canada never did that. We're still owned by, we're part of the Commonwealth. Yeah. So we're not a confederation or any of that stuff. Don't forget about that. That's just what everybody said for years. But can you imagine if Trump says he's going to join the Commonwealth? You want another Revolutionary War? But I don't think Trump's going to do that. I don't know what he's up to or why he's even talking, or somebody even put this on Facebook. But we'll see what happens with that one. Keep your eye open for that one. That's going to be a good one. We'll see what transpires from that. Well, I know that Trudeau went crying to King Charles. The U.S. is going to put tariffs on Canada. What's Britain going to do? They got nothing. They barely can keep their own country from the invaders. Now they're not fighting any wars. They're nothing anymore. Monarchy means nothing. They're nothing. Oh, poor Canada. Poor Canada. Big bad orange man. He's trying to take over by putting tariffs on our country. Maybe they should have a rib fest. Canada, United States, a Can-Am rib fest. Rib stock. 500,000 strong. Maybe we can get together over wonton soup and ribs. How about that? Anybody think that might happen? I know wonton soup. Everybody loves that. They line up for it. Get a couple Americans in there with the wonton and ribs. Good combination right there. Maybe that'll settle it. Ribs time. So, you know that Trump signed an executive order to deport all the criminal illegals, starting with gang members and criminals. And he's made a deal with El Salvador to incarcerate the worst of the worst. Why El Salvador, you ask? Well, because their president, Nayib Bukele, is the expert in corralling and imprisoning these gang members. He built a maximum security prison named Secat. And since he has started taking down and incarcerating the worst of the worst in his own country, El Salvador has the lowest murder rate in the Western Hemisphere. They went from the worst to the best. Oh, we got truck wars here. One guy going to back into the other. They're both backing up and They need some ribs, those guys. Let's straighten this one up. One's waiting, the other one's backing. Oh, they settled it. Yeah, so El Salvador. Tough on hardened criminals. Now they have the lowest murder rate in the Western Hemisphere since this Nayib Bukele took over. That's where they're sending them. That prison there, and there is no escape. This is it, and they're paying them. The United States is paying them to take these guys because a lot of them are Venezuelan from trendy Aragua. And these trendy Aragua are tough hardened criminals and fighting on planes. I mean, they're crazy, these guys. So Trump says, don't send them back to Venezuela because they're just going to escape. Because it's all crooked in Venezuela anyway. They're just going to escape and they're going to end up back up here. Right? They're going to end up back in the United States. And in Canada, too. They're here. But so he says, let's send them to El Salvador. We're going to lock them up for good. And that'll keep them from coming back. And El Salvador says, yeah, send them down. We got room for 40,000 down here. And the U.S. is paying them. They got a year contract for them to house them. And then they're going to decide whether they can release them to their own country or keep them there, how bad they are. And, they're going to continue paying. And it's cheaper to keep them in El Salvador than it is in the United States. They got to send them to Florence AFX or somewhere like that, maximum securities. And number one, they don't have room. And number two, it's expensive to keep them there, less to keep them in El Salvador. And they do a better job at this Secat prison. So on the plane, they're fighting. These Trinidad, they're fighting on the plane. They tried to take the plane over. They resisted getting on. They resisted getting off. And until the door of the plane opened in El Salvador, and they saw what was waiting for them on the tarmac. They looked out the door and they go, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And at that point, they looked at all these people on the tarmac, the army and the military and the prison people and everything, and they just said, the fight was drained out of them. That's how somebody described it. The El Salvadorian show of force was overwhelming. It's over for them. It's over for these criminals. The reason they were sent to El Salvador in the first place was because they would have never been held captive in Venezuela and these other countries, and they'd end up back in the U.S. So Secat it is. It's over for them. And, of course, the left-wing judges and these guys know who they are. They go to them. They're trying to block removing violent criminals from the United States who are illegals. They're trying to block deportation. I just can't. Why would anybody in their right mind want to block this? I don't understand it. Why would they want to block it? You want these people in the United States killing people? Taking over apartment buildings? I don't get it. They have TDS. I'm telling you, they're mental. I keep saying it. They're mental cases, and they prove it every day. Big announcement from Trump on Friday. I don't know if everybody saw this, but the 6th generation of fighter plane is going to be built. Now, it's been around for about 5 years. They might have even test flown it already. But nobody gave Boeing the okay to build it. Well, now they got the okay from Trump, and they're going to go start production, and they're calling it the F-47 in tribute to Trump being the 47th president of the United States. They're calling it the F-47, and they're saying that it's going to change the way air fighting is waged. The new fighter will be faster, more maneuverable, and stealthier than anything in the skies today. It's going to be able to penetrate contested airspace in any theater around the world and fly with multiple autonomous collaborative combat aircraft drones. So first, this thing is going to be flanked by an army of drones that can be all controlled from the cockpit. Amazing. It's going to be amazing. They're going to send drones in. And they're going to be controlled from the cockpit of the plane as well as from the ground. And this plane's going to fly with an army of them. It's amazing. It's crazy. You talk about Space Force, that's part of it. And, who knows what else they got. I mean, this is just what they're showing you, right? This has been around for 5 years already. Nobody's even seen it, knows about it. Now it's going to be, they figure the first one's going to fly in a couple of years. Now that they've given the green light for Boeing to go ahead and make these and test them and everything else. So that's going to be interesting. So that's another thing Trump's got on the go here. He's got a lot on the go, the guy. He's done more in 6 weeks than these guys have done in 4 years. Unbelievable what he's doing. And every single one of them, everything he's doing is what he promised the people he would do during his campaign. Promises made, promises kept. If we could only get that out of Canadian leaders, these guys, they keep their promises, and they're not gonna. Carney, we're gonna get rid of the carbon tax only for residential. And he's gonna put another tax. These people are tax and spend. There's no way they're gonna give you a break. I mean, Poilievre probably will if he gets in and he can get a majority. I don't know. I don't know if he can. It's just these left wingers control a lot of people in Canada. They pumped a lot of people full of money and favors, and it pays off at the ballot box. They control the media. They're already hammering PP because they're bought and paid for by the liberals. He's going to have a tough time getting a majority. I hope if he does, he keeps some of his promises. I mean, he didn't just talk about getting rid of the carbon tax on it. He talked about getting rid of it completely, getting out of the Paris Accord, doing things that we want him to do, curbing immigration, fiscal responsibility, lower taxes, contracting government, all the things that we need done in this country that Trump's doing in the States, we need it here too. And we definitely need a department, a Doge department. We got to have that. This country is going to sustain. And we've got to be able to get along with Trump and make a deal with him. We can't be fighting him. And the first thing Carney says is give the, we're going to Trump. Oh, boy, this country's in trouble. We're in trouble. People can call me names. I don't care. They don't see it. That's their problem. You'll find out. Go vote for liberal. You'll find out what's going to happen. And you know what? Maybe it's about time. Maybe it's about time. You know, we don't have to revamp government or tweak government. We need a whole new government. We need a whole new way of doing it in Canada. We need a constitution. We need a constitutional republic. Get rid of this parliamentary system. You know, break away from this Commonwealth and let's go on our own. It's crazy. I mean, you know, like Quebec will never vote for that because they get $12 billion a year in transfer payments. They love it. They just keep taking it. It's tough. Canada's tough. Western states don't have enough power to be able to control any election. It's all Ontario and Quebec, and they're liberal. Tough to beat. Tough to win. The East Coast, they don't care. They're like the maritime states in the United States. They're more related to all of them than they are to us. Last but not least, remember those Epstein global elite trafficking ring people that everybody's talking about? Well, the files are coming out, and the swamp is about to burn. Pam Bondi is releasing the files and has assigned 1,000 FBI agents to investigate the flight logs, surveillance records, secret guest lists, foreign bank wires, the whole shebang. She's investigating everything. And we're going to find out who was involved. It's all going down. The Department of Justice has made it the number one priority to bring down a blackmail and pedophile ring that protected pedos, sold children, funneled corruption through power and fear. You know, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. All the media that laughed at the conspiracy theorists, this conspiracy theory about Epstein and that, they're going to find out. They're silent right now because they're crapping their drawers. A lot of these people are really, really crapping it. Stay tuned to this one because between this and the JFK, MLK, and RFK files, you're going to have lots to read and watch. And don't be surprised if everything about 9/11 is released as well. And that's the one I want to see. I don't believe any of that. So there you go. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Okay, call me that. But today's conspiracy is tomorrow's truth. We saw that with COVID. We saw that with a lot of things. Now we're going to see it with JFK. We're going to see it with RFK. We're going to see it with MLK. We're going to see it with a lot of different things. And it's all going to come out, including Epstein. And what was Carney doing with Maxwell? Yeah, there's pictures of him and Maxwell hanging out like best friends. Is he on that list? That's going to be interesting to find out. That's going to be real interesting to find out. Anyway, that's what's happening. And we're going to see it. And I can't wait. I can't wait. It's getting interesting even with the Kennedy, what's coming out. And of course, the left-wing media say, there's nothing there. Biden released all this. And the other people who are investigating this are picking stuff out. Pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. I'm done. We'll come back tomorrow with Trash Talking Tuesday, and we'll discuss a lot more of this that's going on. Whether it's in the city, in the region, in the country, in the province, in the United States, overseas. There's lots going on over there with these Houthis. We'll talk about that tomorrow. They're attacking aircraft carriers and they're going in there and just going to wipe them out. And Iran's been given the heads up too. So there's lots going on we got to talk about still. Can't do it all in one show. We gotta do it in 2 parts. 2-part session. Gary Wilkins, 2 parts, buddy. 2 parts, my friend. Tuesday, Trash Talking Tuesday tomorrow. We'll talk more about that. Wednesday, absolutely. And the Habs are battling it out for that playoff spot. So all the Habs fans, you got to tune in. It's getting really good, and there's so many good things happening with the Habs. They're hanging on to that last wild card spot, and they got a real chance. I'd say they got over a 50% chance of making the playoffs this year, which would be beautiful. I don't care. Even if we get hammered out the first round, all these young guys are going to be able to get a chance to get in the playoffs and play a bit. And then we're going to be here Thursday with Straight Talk Thursday. Finally, Friday, and the week's done. Can you imagine? It's Monday, and we're already talking about the week being done. The weather's supposed to get a little bit colder, and I don't know. It's March. It's March. We only got another week. Today's the 24th, right? Another week of this, and then we're into April. Once we get into April showers bring Mayflowers. What do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims. On that note, I'm out of here. I'm going. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Watch the video, subscribe. It costs nothing to subscribe. Leave comments. We always talk about comments, whether you agree with me or not. Leave comments. They're always good to have. Support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue in Hamel Machine Company since 1948. Yeah, Hamel Machine Company. Support all our sponsors. They support the show. They support the city. Let's support small business in Niagara. And that's it for me today. God bless you all. Talk to you tomorrow on Trash Talking Tuesday at noon. We always start at noon. And we should have some good junk to talk about tomorrow. Maybe even some more Facebook funnies. They're my favorite. Have a great day, everyone. God bless you all. Ciao, ciao. We'll see you tomorrow at noon on Your City, Your Voice from the studios of 4680Q Radio in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Have a wonderful day. Oh, look at this. Doesn't want to shut off. Oh, boy.